It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, underway for another hour. The 5 o'clock hour, as a matter of fact, 8 minutes past. Many of you off work, many of you getting ready for the Thanksgiving Day festivities, and I appreciate every one of you for listening to the Matt Murphy Show this afternoon. Thank you. I'm thankful for each and every one of you. We're going to break down some holiday traditions and whatnot, food type stuff. Coming up in the 6 o'clock hour, looking forward to that. Would love to hear from you, 615-737-9986. I'm getting back to David in just a moment. He said he was an Afton Bain voter and wanted to express his reasons why. I appreciate that because I asked for that. I said, I don't know if we can find them. Surely there's some out there, and we've gotten two, as a matter of fact. And we'll get back to David in just a moment. Jackson, I thought I had a victorious nincompoop in the news, but, y'all got to be careful out here in these mean streets because I don't think this is real. I'm going to go ahead and declare that this can't be real.
What is it?
Tullahoma, Tennessee. I can't find a legitimate news station that has carried this story. I only found this on Facebook, and I almost, you know how it goes. There's a lot of these
Ken got.
He did. In an incident that city officials are calling deeply regrettable but incredibly memorable, a civilian employee working at Arnold Air Force Base was taken into custody in Tullahoma after allegedly sabotaging his own going-away cake with mission-critical payload of laxatives. 44-year-old employee identified in the report only as BW to spare everyone further. See, you could tell. To spare everyone further embarrassment, had spent years working on the base logistics before deciding it was time to relax, retire, and stop answering emails from people who never read the first one. It goes on to say as part of his going-away celebration, he covertly modified his going-away cake with what was estimated to be over 10 boxes of laxatives. The dessert was served to approximately 120 attendees, and within an hour, the jet had achieved exactly the kind of propulsion its creator allegedly intended. See, this is just not a real story.
It's fake.
But I wish it was. Sometimes you wish it was a real story, but it's not a real story.
Ken had a naked grandma on an interstate. That was his AI story.
That was was it Louisiana?
No, Kansas.
Okay. We had one that came from Louisiana that got discovered to be fake, too. You got to watch out with these nincompoops in the news. Got to watch out. And that was actually sent to me by a loyal listener. Okay, back to David. David was gracious enough to hold. He was going to tell us why he decided that he was voting or will vote for Afton Bain. So, David, first off, what'd you have at Waffle House?
Patty plate, scattered smothered covered up in Springfield.
Love it.
Michaela was my waitress.
All right.
And I got to tell you right now, that young lady rocks. She is as cool as a $2 bill.
I dig it. I dig it. Dig everything about it. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, talk to me, David. What led you to your decision making?
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, I've been around for more than a minute. And ever since 2001, this country has become nothing more than a Greek tragedy or a long story that everyone claims they've read but doesn't know a thing about. And I'm not saying that we've become a police state, but I remember what life was before, and I've seen what life has become after. And all I know is you pick a side and you go with it. Now, here's the thing about Afton.
Can I ask a question before you get to that? So you believe, make sure I'm hearing you correctly, you believe that we are living in a police state right now?
We're getting there. Can I tell you a story? I was at a local town up here, and there was a parade. Now, our parade is people walking in front of their dinged-up Honda Civics and, the whatever pickup truck they have throwing candy. Okay?
Sure.
Sorry for my misstep. But
no, you're good.
We had the Cheatham County Deputies Department there, and this was the Obama years when they gave away a bunch of equipment. And our little county, just north of Nashville, had armored vehicles and SWAT teams in the parade with 80-year-old women throwing out them little strawberry candies that no one eats.
Oh, yeah. My grandmother used to have those in her dress pockets.
You know, that and the hard mints. We all remember the hard mints. Can't do that post-COVID. But I got to thinking then, it's like, what are we becoming? Now I watch a news story and something's been done and the police track them down, and then you find out, how they can track you through cameras and how they can track you through your phone and how they can do this. And I'm not saying we've become a police state. What I'm saying is we've become something that we weren't supposed to be. So pick a side and fight with the side. And now Afton comes along and she's feeling blue. Well, now I'm Democrat. And I will side with blue every time. Why? That's my side. I've seen it go down the toilet, no matter which side is in. So I have to pick a side, and I'm going to pull the lever.
David, what informs you that you're a Democrat?
I always have been. My dad was a blue dog Democrat, and he said, son, listen to me. He said, look, blue dogs have fleas, but as long as they suck enough blood and have enough babies, we survive and go on.
Well, yeah. I mean, my grandfather was a Democrat back in the day when everyone in the South was a Democrat. But I'm asking you, and I'll just kind of double down. What informs you right now in 2025 that you're a Democrat?
I don't have to be informed, Matt. That's the thing I'm trying to tell you.
Well,
I don't like voting every vote I give. What I do is know that I'm doing something, and that's all that matters.
Well,
that's
can
my
I
side.
can
They
I ask
have
the
my vote.
Can I ask the question a slightly different way? Then I don't mean I'm not trying to badger you. I'm curious, naturally curious. What leads you to vote Democrat? What policy positions? What ideological mindset brings you? I mean, you can say, well, I've always done it that way, but why did you always do it that way? I mean, are you just doing it because your dad did it, or is there something about the Democrat Party that you gravitate to?
All right. Now, Matt Murphy, you're talking to Dave Bowman, okay?
Yes, sir.
Can I ask you a question and reply? And I don't like doing this because I know how.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
You're a Georgia Bulldog fan.
Yes.
Can you name me one set, one formation, one stat, or anything out there that makes you a Georgia Bulldog fan, or does it just seem natural to you?
Well, I grew up being a Georgia Bulldog fan, sure.
So you kind of understand what I'm saying. Life
No, I sure don't, because I don't believe that football and politics are the same thing.
You don't believe life is a game.
Well, I mean,
there's winners and losers. And I missed that call right before me. I left the room. I swear I thought someone said they were mad at Epstein. I didn't catch what they said. I just remember Kelly, and God bless her, because I didn't want to follow that other lady with Coco. I'm telling you right now.
David, what about? I mean, so I can tell you that I root for the Georgia Bulldogs. I can tell you that football is not politics. I'm just asking you why you root for the Democrats. You don't know?
I don't think it's that. I think when a person grows up, what they grow up with is what Mama and Daddy taught them, and what Grandma and Grandpa put in them. And when their God and the fear of life is on the line, you're going to go with what you know. And by God, I'm going to go with what I know.
What do you get from the Democrats? In other words, if I watch the Georgia Bulldog, I mean, I don't like comparing it to football, but I'll try to do it just because you brought it up. What about the Democrats do you believe represents you? Why are they worthy of your vote? What do you think they do to advance the cause of the Constitution of the United States of America?
Sir, we live in Tennessee. Now, you can ask your normal producer or anyone else that it doesn't really matter as long as you get us some wins. And I don't care, because hopefully eventually something I like is going to sneak through.
Okay, David, what wins are the Democrats bringing you in the last 20 years?
If you knew my last 20 years, It ain't an easy one, but there's probably some of them other folks out there on the other side say the same.
Okay, so what
we're
about...
all in this together. We're all in the stands, my friend.
What specifically about Afton Bain are you voting for?
Matt, you're putting me up against the wall, and I don't ever like it when another man puts me up against a wall. But I got to tell you, she creates a show. So I know Tennessee is going to be in the news, and I'm hoping she's going to come out and she's going to apologize for them things she said and say she's wrong. And, you know, maybe enough time with enough wise counsel. And that's what Washington's supposed to be, is wise counsel. That's what we have 535 people up there in the Capitol, is so they can give counsel to each other. They're not pulling the levers. They're there to counsel each other and hopefully counsel the one sitting in the Oval Office.
Who's your favorite Democrat?
So maybe
who's your favorite Democrat?
Well, you're going to have to go back a ways. Tell you the truth. I loved Kennedy. I loved Truman. Now, that was a Democrat who wasn't afraid to drop a nuclear bomb on someone. Let me tell you something right there. You want to say America? Democrats invented America way back when, and you can't argue with me on that.
Dave, I don't believe you're a Democrat. I think you're pulling my leg. I think you're putting me on. That's what I think.
What?
I do.
Born man, Dave.
I do.
Why would you think that?
I do. Because I cannot believe that someone that seems as reasonable and sensible as you would vote for such a nonsensical, unreasonable political party like the Democrats. I just can't believe it.
Matt, I tell you what. All right? Y'all have my number. I got your number.
Yeah.
You and I meet for a breakfast.
Okay.
And we'll go to that Springfield Waffle House.
All right.
And I pray God it's Michaela, because she's a
good.
peach on the tree.
She's good.
Okay? You a Georgia boy, you appreciate that comment. Yeah. Now, you listen now. When we get the bill, I'll let you pay the bill, and that'll prove I'm a Democrat. I
hung up on him. Just leave it on a high note. Leave it on a high note.
That's a pretty good end.
I get to pay, and that proves he's a Democrat. That's true. That's true. I don't know. You think Dave was pulling our leg?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm kind of up in the air. Part of me believes that, and part of me says, there's a lot of people. Look, my grandfather was not a political guy, and my grandfather probably didn't vote the last 20 years of his life. In fact, I won't even say probably. My grandfather did not vote the last 20 years of his life. He died at the age of 86 in 2015. So, I imagine the last person my grandpa voted for might have been the last Democrat that I voted for, which was Bill Clinton in 1992. That's the last Democrat that I've ever voted for. The only Democrat that I've ever voted for. I guess maybe I voted for a couple of local elected officials during that same time. But my grandfather would tell you that, hey, Pa, are you a Democrat or a Republican? And he would say, his answer would be, I'm not rich. That was it. That would be his answer, as if that answered everything. Pa, are you a Democrat or a Republican? I'm not rich. So there is an old school version of Democrats that they wouldn't vote. I mean, if Beelzebub himself had a D behind his name, well, Beelzebub's getting a vote. But I don't know that Dave's telling the truth. I hope not. I'll take you up on that Waffle House. All you got to do, Dave, is vote for Matt Van Epps for the 7th Congressional District, and I'll pay for Waffle House. Otherwise, you might be on your own. 22 after the hour on Super Talk. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You know what? I give thanks to all of you, every single one of you. And I appreciate you being on the line, whether it's Steve or Kevin or John or Mike. And all of you will get an opportunity to opine and speak to the masses after we do Nincompoops, which we'll do in just a moment. In the meantime, 9400 writes in and says, why are we spending $40 million a month on the Taliban in Afghanistan, and why won't neither of them answer pieces of bleep? That would be Blackburn and Haggerty, saying that he had emailed Blackburn and Haggerty twice with no response. We are not spending $40 million a month on the Taliban in Afghanistan. To my knowledge, we are not spending any more money in Afghanistan since the pullout initiated by Donald Trump and disastrously implemented by Joe Biden. So if your senators aren't responding to you, I don't know why. I don't know that I can speak to that, but do a little research and you'll learn that we're no longer spending that amount of money in Afghanistan. That was the entire point of getting us out of that forever war. I'll tell you what time it is. It's 5:41. It's time for Nincompoops in the News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hit it! I have a candidate in the running right now for Nincompoops in the News. Nincompoops in the control room. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. By the way, what was I going to give you hell about earlier? I can't remember. What was it? I was going to give you such the business about you're against something. What? Jackson, you remember what it was? I was going to give you hell about something.
No, I don't remember.
Oh, I remember what it was. Jackson went. Y'all remember we had that nice caller, Gary, that called yesterday about the bridge, the old Stone Fort Bridge, and at the old Stone Fort Park, State Park. Jackson said that was the most boring call that we've ever had. And that
there was another one I remembered.
Jackson said
he. You remember that one?
Jackson said.
Do you remember? No, you looked at a caller. No, you looked at a caller a month ago and said, "If I let you continue to talk, I will no longer have a job at this radio station."
That's correct. I did say that, but it's true because you're ruining I said you're single-handedly ruining my radio career. Jackson said that he didn't give a crap about the old Stone Fort Bridge, and that
I did not say that.
You did too.
I
Don't
did
you
not.
lie? You said I don't even care if they tear it down.
I did not.
He
say
did too,
that.
y'all. He did.
He's
lying now, but he said it.
Slander against my character, and I will not stand for it.
Jay Harper's back in News Closet B, and I bet Jay's got a nincompoop. Jay, what do you got over there?
Yeah, since when I do these fill-ins, I really don't get an opportunity to prepare for this segment like I would like to, and especially with the horrible news events. I've been kind of wrapped up in that. But I'm going to give it a shot here, but don't really judge me. And I have a feeling that this may be a repeat. The
entire premise of the segment is to judge it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, see, that's why you're the host, and I'm just a dumb fill-in guy.
No,
all right, well, we're going to give it a try. See, I also have the disadvantage of not knowing whether these have been done or not. But
we're going to give you a pass on all of this. All right.
Okay, Karen Cooper. She gives new meaning to the term tree hugger. About a year ago, city officials began to make plans to remove a 100-year-old giant ficus tree from a park in Fort Myers to make room for numerous smaller other trees. Well, this lady Cooper, she started rallying the neighborhood in an attempt to save the tree. Well, when that didn't work, she married it. The waterfront nuptials included flowers, music, a tree-decorated wedding cake, and a dog for a ring bearer. I don't know what the dog did to the tree, but I digress. Anyway, over 50 attendees watched as Cooper vowed to love and protect the tree. Following the wedding, the city seems to be backing away from plans to remove it. However, its fate does remain uncertain. She said, however, if they cut down this tree, I'm going to be a widow.
That's pretty good.
I see. Well,
what's her? Do you have her name there?
Yeah, Karen Cooper.
Karen Cooper.
Yeah.
Nincompoop extraordinaire.
Nincompoper. Yes.
That's Mrs. Karen Cooper to you.
Yeah. Well. I wonder what her husband's name is.
Well,
ficus,
it was a ficus. Yeah, Karen Nincompoper. Nincompoper ficus.
That's a good one, Jay. No, you're poor mouthing your story, but it was a good story.
Okay.
It's a fine T-shirt you gave me too, by the way.
Oh, hey, man! I tell you, and so much for being our guest on that. I mean, we've got so many people that were touched by your stories.
Well, you're very kind. I loved it. If you don't know Jay, along with Johnny B and Jim, is that right, Jim?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Johnny B, who's known to so many and beloved, and Jay do a podcast called Circling the Drain, and apparently they had a lot of cancellations one week because they asked me to stop by. And I was so honored to be there, and it was such a wonderful conversation. And they gave me a T-shirt, which is kind of cool. And I just held it up for the viewing audience.
A lot of fun.
I'm going to wash it, and I'm going to wear it over the course of this week.
Good.
All right, Jackson, what do you got?
All right, horn dog couple arrested for burglary after doing the nasty on security video.
Mm-mm-mm.
You ready? Okay.
I'm just listening.
A couple of suspected horny burglars couldn't wait to get to the bedroom, so they decided to engage in a sex act during a break-in and ended up in the pokey, according to police. The X-rated incident unfolded in the wee hours of October 25th at Mon Cherie Restaurant in Scottsdale, Arizona. But it's only now making the rounds in the national media. Here's the deal. Brian Morrow and Carissa Sukanik allegedly forced their way inside.
What? No, say those names again, Jackson.
Yeah.
Brian Morrow and Carissa Sukanik.
Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah. Is that how you pronounce a woman's name?
Sucanick. How else would you pronounce that?
Sucking it.
Yeah, that's exactly where my brain went.
Anyway.
Allegedly forced their way inside the joint to steal money from the cash register. But soon their alleged criminal activity took a detour into the world of amateur pornography. Cops say the pair was caught on surveillance video in the patio area doing the nasty. Then the duo allegedly scattered flowers everywhere and ransacked the bar before hightailing it out of there. Employees discovered the restaurant had been burglarized after they came to work that day, telling local media the suspect stole $450 from the register. The staff also made a key discovery on security footage, which showed the couple's sex act with their faces in full view of the camera. Scottsdale PD detectives were able to ID Morrow and Suckanet by viewing the footage and gathering tips from the community.
Suckanik. Didn't you say it was a K?
Yeah, there's a K, but who cares?
Or
either
Suckanik.
Yeah.
On November 4th, police arrested the two for burglary and booked them into the Maricopa County Jail. Police say the good news for Morrow and Suckanet is that they won't face charges for their amorous activities on the patio.
You just went with it.
Yeah, I just went with sucking it. It's a lot funnier.
Yeah, just went with it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Speaking of, I didn't think you'd go with it. Speaking of going with it, if you are traveling this holiday season, maybe some of you are headed to the airport right now, the TSA wants to remind travelers of some of the do's and don'ts for packing items in your carry-on luggage. These are from experiences that they would offer you these words of warning. And some of the do's might surprise you. Travelers, according to the Transportation Security Agency, can bring, listen up now, baked goods, meats, fresh fruit, and casseroles through airport security checkpoints. But they caution that items like cranberry sauce, gravy, and canned fruit need to be packed in your checked luggage. TSA spokesperson at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, Lori Dankers, said, "The big one is canned food. I don't know why you would want to bring canned food like cans of beans or cranberry sauce, but some people do, and they are restricted." TSA agents are urging travelers to triple check their bags to ensure no prohibited items are packed, which can cause delays at security checkpoints. Jennifer Hallett of Gig Harbor shared with KIRO Channel 7, ABC affiliate in Seattle, "The last time I flew, we got held up because someone brought their protein shakes pre-made. Passengers also find themselves throwing away items at the last minute, causing stress as well as delay. TSA also advised travelers to be cautious with wrapped gifts, as they may be unwrapped if the contents are unclear. To avoid disruption, they offer an online chat for travelers unsure about packing specific items, but they are clear on this point. And this brings me to the nincompoopery that's involved here. TSA wants you to know that if you choose to bring a whole turkey, cooked or uncooked, with you to the airport, it is allowed. You will get through the checkpoint, and it will act as a checked bag getting onto the plane. I don't know what nincompoop would bring an entire turkey or a casserole or any other baked goods, fresh fruits, or meats with them on the airplane. But if you want it, you got it. Just don't bring gravy, cranberry sauce, or anything in a metal can.
But that's the fixins.
You're going to have to get the fixins where you're going. That's all I can tell you.
Fixins there.
Well, you know what? We should have thought of that. You need to take your little Go to the gift shop and buy yourself a can opener and open that can of cranberry sauce and dump it into a Ziploc bag and then
But
put
it tastes like it's been in a Ziploc bag. Is the TSA trying to ruin Thanksgiving?
Well,
Yes.
I mean, couldn't you put the stuff in like just as long as the bottle's under 3 ounces?
I think you could do
You know?
that, Jay. Yes.
Yeah.
I
So
think
That's
you
like
can.
a single serving of cranberry sauce.
That's
Well,
really
you get,
less.
You get like 4 or 5 of the little 3-ounce bottles. I mean,
and then you dump
But
those
then you're
out.
hand sanitizing
Right.
everybody cranberry sauce. They just need to let it through.
Cranberry hand sanitizer. Now we're talking.
I'm sure.
No, they
make
don't
that.
need to let it through. What I'm fascinated, what moron, no, what nincompoop brings an entire turkey onto an airplane?
Because they're feeling snacky.
yeah.
God,
See,
I could
a full turkey is.
What if you're
yeah.
flying to Australia?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's a long 16-hour flight.
Uh-huh.
You're going to get hungry.
Yeah,
Bring your turkey.
sure.
You're going on a Thanksgiving holiday. Maybe you're flying over the holiday to Australia. You got a deal on some Thanksgiving Day Australia tickets, and you want to eat your turkey on the plane. I think it's un-American for them to stop you from eating your turkey on the plane.
If I'm flying to Australia
Yes.
and you get up out of your seat
Yes.
and get into the overhead bin
Yes.
and pull out a whole turkey
Yes.
and then unwrap that sucker
Yes.
and start eating on it,
Yes.
I'm going to go hang myself in the lavatory.
God, Matt.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to try to drown myself in the blue water because I'm not sitting on a plane for 14 hours watching your ass munch down on a whole turkey.
I'll give you a leg.
Yeah, I was gonna say, here's
Anybody
a leg.
wants giblets?
Who wants dark meat?
It's not going to be a good flight if at any point during the flight someone yells, "Who wants some dark meat?" There's plenty up here in 4G.
I kind of want to do it now just to see how people would react.
Oh my God! Oh man! Yeah, I get angry when people bring a whole Subway sandwich on. I can't imagine.
Really?
delivering-
Oh yeah, especially if it's got onions on it.
Oh,
and you
or
just yeah.
it's just.
I
oh,
know,
it's
man.
just- yeah.
Mess up the whole cabin.
Disgusting. There's always one, though, and that one is Jackson Williams. That's how we play Nincompoops in the news. You can vote Jay, you can vote Jackson, you can vote Murphy. It's 53 after the hour. We'll get to Steve, we'll get to John, and we'll get to Mike in just moments on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Happy Thanksgiving.